Brendon. I'm sorry, man. Here, I'm gonna get that back to you, bro. You gotta draw the line somewhere, man. I'm the best man, but that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So to recap so far, we know that Brendon's an awesome shot, right? He's a very, very well-dressed, dapper young man. He's got dimples, a ginger beard, quite the ladies' man, right? Who wouldn't want to go home with this guy? So I happen to know for a fact, I'm going to put this bowl right here, that Brendon, before he met Beth, his soulmate, was quite the ladies' man. Oh, it's true. You're about to see why. I happen to know for a fact, too, that his former apartments, this is, of course, before he met Beth, and residences, he would hand out keys for those late-night visits, shall we say? And I also happen to know for a fact there are some ladies here at the wedding today that might have some keys to put in that bowl. So I would like to give everyone a chance. It'd be good catharsis right now, before they move on to their life together, that any ladies in the room that might have a key that Brendon has handed out, I'll disclaim it by just because you have a key. That doesn't mean anything that actually happened. So please come on up to the front and drop your key in the bowl. Any ladies that might have a, so any ladies that, what is going on here, that might have a key, you dog. Wow. All right, last chance. Is there anyone else here that has a key that would like to come up? Last chance. Any other? Uh-oh. Oh my. Brendon.
We're supposed to tell anyone.
So when you said you met Beth on Tinder, did you mean Grindr? What happened there? I'm kind of impressed. See if I got anything else in here, or is that it? I think that's it. We're coming to an end. So as all of you know, for the last year, this couple has been apart, and it sucked. And I've seen it from both sides. I saw it when Beth visited, and I see it every day in this guy's face. But that's coming to an end. In just a few more weeks, they'll be together permanently. And the good part is, you've gotten all the hard stuff out of the way the last year. So now all you have to do is, never fight again, have kids, learn to live with each other, the finances, moving to another country, stop saying A all the time. Just the small things. So once you're done with that, it's easy street, right? So if everyone can raise their glasses to Beth and Brendon, Virginia's newest family. Congratulations, buddy.
Great speech, great speech. All right, now for the final speech this evening, let's put our hands together for Lachlan, please.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. The best man's been talking a big game all afternoon about his speech, so I printed mine out because he got in my head. So well played. Well played. So my name is Lachlan. I am a friend of Beth's from university. I wasn't supposed to cry right at the start, so a bit of a rough start. We've known each other since we were randomly assigned roommates at Mount Allison University. And when I say roommates, I mean we lived in a closet together for the first year. Anywhere you stood, you could physically touch the other person, which didn't prevent us from emailing or G-chatting all the time while in the same room, but it was a tiny room in a part of a dorm that everybody else referred to as the dungeon, which closed the next year. So, I always thought that it was fate, but Beth thinks it's because we handed in our registration forms late and they put us in the crappiest room. Either way, in those days when you were randomly assigned online, you didn't get to swipe right, so we were just stuck with each other. And that was the beginning of 15 years of friendship. And here we are. I live in the States now, and so Brendon, while I'm grateful for you to being a kind and supportive and loving partner for Beth, I am selfishly most grateful to you for importing her to the US so that I can visit her more often. And as a result of this good behavior on your part, I feel inclined to share with you some hard-earned Beth advice. I know that you're in a couple and you're very happy and you're in love, but I lived with Beth for 4 years in very tight quarters. I once had to take her to a hospital in Budapest to get a tick removed, which apparently is not the same word in all languages, and not a thing in Hungary. And we took a very questionable class on women in antiquity that we almost failed. So I have, some insight that you may never be able to achieve. I think I've done a bit of a trial run for your marriage, so I'll see what I've got for you. You may have heard this many times in the days coming up to your wedding, but there are a few key things that are essential in every marriage. The practical stuff, way more important than I think we knew when we were younger. Communication is a big one, obviously. When communication fails, compromise is a big one. And trust is at the base of all good relationships. So the practical stuff is easy with Beth. The key thing is to always have a snack with you. The Goslets are a hungry people. They get really cranky. So when I travel with Beth, I bring a snack. And when I say travel, I mean when I leave the house at any moment, or I walk around the block, a snack. It's also good if you pretend it's not for her, but you just have it. Like, oh, here's a half a granola bar I didn't want to eat. Please take this. Another good one is to always have an escape route. So Beth, when she wants to go, just wants to go. She's got to go. So there's no 5-minute warning. She's like, I'm out of here. And if you don't have a good way, you're kind of in trouble. So that'll be another important one. And the last one, and then we'll move on to more important stuff, is to buy a dishwasher. She's just, she's always been very bad at doing dishes. I would just embrace that. She's gotten better over the years, but it's not natural, or not where she belongs. So those are some of the easier ones. Moving on to communication, I think you're fine on that one. Beth is truly terrible on the phone, so the fact that you've survived this long-distance relationship, I think is a testament to the strength of your relationship. About halfway through every phone conversation I've ever had with Beth, she says, I think I'm done. I'm just saying stuff. So she might like you better than she likes me, but it takes some adjustment. But you'll know this, of course, face to face, nobody is better than Beth. She tells you exactly what she's thinking all the time. She does it in a way that is honest and not harsh. Except when it comes to your clothes, she can be a little harsh. Many a time she's told me not to leave the house. But you can take all of her statements at face value, and that will serve you extremely well. It's a characteristic I really admire you, and then I've tried to be more like, you can't be more like a characteristic, but I've tried to be more like you. And I think that you will thrive if you both adopt that approach. It won't always work, so communication, as I said, fails, and you have to compromise. A few things Beth will not compromise on, so just don't even try. Sleep. She likes to sleep, it's really important. And food, as we spoke about, we spend all of our first semester money on cheese and brand name chips. But she is really good at compromising on big things. So, for instance, after she graduated from library school, she moved to a fairly random city in Canada where she knew nobody to launch her career as a librarian. And many of her peers were unwilling to do that, to just take a step like that, to be away from her family or friends or in a market but they didn't want to be in, but she did, and she had the opportunity in that regard to show how good she was at her job, and it really, career took off after that. So in terms of life goals, she will always be willing to compromise, and you can see it. You're both doing it right now with the back and forth, and I'm really excited for you to start your life here. So on the big things, you're good. And I always find if I really need her to give in to something, I call in the big guns. I just get Kate on my side. Nobody can make Beth do something like Kate can. So just use that in emergencies. And so that brings us to the key one, which is trust. Oh, I'm on the second page, which bodes well for all of you. Okay, there's a couple do's and don'ts. Do trust Beth's sense of direction. It's surprisingly good. Many a time we have been lost somewhere and I have a map and we're in some random place in Europe and I think I'm in charge. And Beth's like, look, there's the church, you're missing it. So she's really very good at that. Don't trust her to order a drink for you. She has really bad taste in alcoholic beverages. She has a vodka lemonade as her signature drink, which is really just, it's a Smirnoff Ice. So don't let her do that. Do trust her taste in television. It seems like it's a bad idea at first. You start watching Laguna Beach and suddenly you're watching The Hills and then you're following Lauren Conrad on Instagram. And it's out of control. But you know, Dance Academy is a classic Australian show and Teen Mom is really educational. It's good stuff. But otherwise, I think the key with Beth is to just count your blessings. She is a person that I trust above all others. She is fiercely loyal to the people in her life. She will always be there when you need her, and she will forgive you if you are selfish, which I often am. She will accept you for who you are with any of the flaws that you may bring to the relationship. And she will be patient with you, and she will not judge you if you fail. So I can only advise you to trust her wholeheartedly because she will never let you down. And that is all the advice that I have for you, which much as I promised, but you only got her to move to Virginia and not New York, so I'm holding on to a few tidbits if we get over there. And she was probably always destined to marry an American because she loves NASCAR more than I wish you both all of the happiness in the world, and so please, if you raise a glass to the bride and groom. Congratulations.